I'm Tom, welcome back to the garage. It's been a while since I've been able to upload a video. To be honest, I was waiting for some supplies and some materials to get shipped, and there were some delays with some things for the trailer, but I've been back to it, and slowly but surely I've been making some progress here. So since the last video, I've varnished the inside of the trailer. So all of that's done. I've started building a few of the cabinet doors, and I've built the slide out for the cooler. I've also tuck taped all the seams and the plywood on the exterior before I put the filon on and the checker plate on. I've got all the trim, so I should be starting to skin the camper very soon. So I wanted to do a quick update video before I started skinning the trailer, and it looked really different than it does today. So stay with me and I'll show you where I'm at. So I just wanted to show you how I'm running all the electrical from the roof of the camper. As you can see, the roof panel's on. It's all been stapled in. This joint here, because it's a 5 foot wide, I taped that just to be safe. Here, my front bulkhead wall is just solid 3/4 inch plywood. So I see a lot of the actual teardrop style campers, they actually frame out this wall and with studs so that they can run their electrical. What I did was I just routed out a channel. So I cut through this roof spar, this last roof spar here, through the front bulkhead, and then I routed out a channel for all the wires. And I put this sheet metal here stapled in as a bit of a wire clamp so that it holds all the wires in place. There's still about 3/8 inch plywood left between the camper and this routed out notch. So there's lots of meat still there in the plywood. I didn't take out too much of it. And that aluminum holds it in nicely after, or before it was taped and sealed up. Now I routed out a little bit of an opening here so that when the wires come out, they've got a space to bend into. And what I'm gonna end up doing once the trailer's skinned, I'm gonna use, this is a stainless steel wall plate that's gonna get mounted here on the outside. And I see a lot of questions about how people are gonna run their power into their tongue box. So what I'm doing is, this is a liquid tight tubing. It's flexible tubing, and it comes with these waterproof connectors that screw on. So I'm gonna drill out a hole in this plate, and this connector is gonna get fastened through here onto the front of the camper. All the cables and wires are gonna come through here, and then this is gonna get clamped in to the side of the box. I'm gonna drill out a hole, seal it all with RV silicone, and should have a nice conduit that's nice and clean that runs straight into the tongue box. So here's a little bit of work on the galley. You can see I've just kind of got the lower cabinet under the sink dry fit in there for now. I'll show you guys how I built that here in a second. And then I've also got the slide out for the cooler built as well. So the slide out's on two 18-inch, 100-pound drawer slides, and they have a 1-inch over travel, so it comes out pretty well the full depth of the countertop, which is about 20 inches. So should give me full access to the cooler and let me open the lid basically fully. Everything's been varnished, so it doesn't look much different from the last video, but all of that's been done. I can also show you all the electricals ready to go. I'm ready to skin the camper. So similar to the front wall, I ran a channel and I taped it down through into the lower cabinet to run all the electrical for the pump. That's all gonna get covered over with a backsplash, so you won't even see it. There's the 120 that's gonna run off of shore power or the inverter. I do need to do a little bit of cleanup for those wires there as well. So what I'll do here is I'll show you quickly how I put together, or how I put together this door and how I'm planning on doing the rest. So here's one of the cabinet doors. I haven't permanently installed the interior panel yet, but I'll just show you. It's just test fit in there for now, but I'll show you how I put this together. So it's pocket screwed in at each corner, and then I took the router and I created a notch all the way around the outside, and it's got a bearing on the inside, so it's about, I think it's a 3/8 dado that comes around the sides. And then I measured and fit the test panel in there just to see how it would look. I've just got it held in with a couple staples on the edges right now, but once it's permanently installed, I'll go around and I'll staple all the way around the inside and varnish it, and then the door will be done, and I'll do all of the cabinet doors in the same way. So unfortunately, where I am here in Ontario, it's really hard to find black diamond plate or black checker plate for the stone guard on the front of the camper and for the side skirts on the camper. So what I'm doing now is I'm taking regular aluminum checker plate, polished checker plate. I've sanded it to rough up the surface a little bit, and I'll be using a bed liner. This is a product called Easy Liner. It's sold here in Canada, and it's got pretty good reviews, so I'm gonna see how it holds up, and if I ever need to touch it up in the future, I'll be able to do that. So here I've got the front stone guard for the camper. It's been sprayed, and I'm just letting it dry a little bit. The side skirts are over there, and I just wanted to show you guys how the product went on pretty good. There's a few little lines that you can see, but once this dries, I don't think you'll even see those. And it should turn out pretty good. Now, one thing that I did want to mention with the surface prep for this is I used about 60-80 grit sandpaper, and I scuffed up the surface evenly in multiple directions. And then you want to make sure that you degrease or remove all the dust from the aluminum with, I used a isopropyl alcohol, but you could also use an acetone to make sure it's really clean with the microfiber cloth. And then I just used a regular cotton old t-shirt to really wipe it down and make sure there was nothing on there before I started spraying on the bed liner product. So if you follow those instructions, there's a few YouTube videos out there as well that kind of show that type of a process. I'm hoping that this lasts, and if it ever needs to get touched up in the future, you can just pick up an extra can of the bed liner and touch it up if you need to. Well, that's it for this video. As always, thanks for tuning in, and
like and subscribe for our video.
Thanks, guys.
See ya.